Hey guys, welcome back to another video on Alex's WRC build here. So in this video I want to go over some of the stuff we had issues with, some of our solutions, and some things to pay attention to depending on what you're looking for as far as a result in fitting this kit to your car. So we're going to start here and work our way around. Alright, so first thing I want to point out here is the wheel arch. It is supposed to be a high arch car. This car does not have a motor in it, so it is extra high right now. That is fine. That is not the concern. The concern is we have about 5 inches between front to tire. Then at the back here, we have about 1.5 inches from tire to fender. So this issue is something I was unaware of in beginning this. When we put this kit on, we put it on a bare shell. It didn't have any running gear or any way to actually hold wheels onto the car. So after putting the wheels on the car, they are too far set back. Because this is a WRC replica, the wheels on a WRC are further forward. They achieve that with a different subframe and with different control arms. So this gentleman has ordered the control arms to move the wheel forward and get it in place. ABW, I don't believe, mentions that on the site when buying the kit. So it's kind of something like we finished the job, we put the running gear back in the car, and then we noticed this issue here. I feel like some people did mention it. Another thing we added in later was this extra beam from the top of the frame horn here down to there for rigidity, because we found this guy just to be a little too flimsy by himself. Since we don't have any engine, rad, intercooler in this car, we have the front still wide open, no bumper beam or nothing like that. We're gonna leave it like that until it's all done at fab. And from there, I feel like I want to find some points to add 2 more mounting spots to the front of the bumper, just to give it a little bit more rigidity on the car and keep it fixed better. So otherwise here, everything is pretty decent as expected. Earlier in the video, I showed how this fender is a little more bowed in from here to here. The profile on the top is fine. This is pretty minor. I mean, like, you won't even notice this, but if you're trying to make like a show car, you're gonna wanna build that up a little bit. But again, like, every mold is gonna be different on these, so this may not actually affect you. This rear fiberglass door, profile door to door is like perfect. Profile quarter panel to door is perfect. Again, our car here, this is just primer. The whole body is just primer. This is not paint. Do not judge the texture or the discoloration. You can see what I mean there. Everything was painted like, well, sorry, primed individually. So these were already white. This door I think was red. Say rear bumper was pretty straightforward. Rear wheel well, I wouldn't necessarily say was very straightforward. So the wheel well, we have still yet to do our bed liner in there. We're gonna do a white tintable bed liner in there. So to our other rear door here, the profile is really good door to door up until you get down to the bottom. So we have a little bit of a dip in our other one. Everything is great up till about there, then you get a little bit of a dip. Again, for a race car, this is completely fine. Nothing to worry about there. If you did want it, you know, looking OEM spec, you could build that up a little bit there. And then at the rear of our rear door, profile from door to quarter panel is really good up until here. The door is a little bit more sunk than the quarter panel, and that's nothing to do with the adjustment of the door. It's actually just kind of the shape of the door up here. So again, if I was trying to make this OEM spec, I would either crack and refill, reshape the fiberglass there, or you could build it up depending on how much filler you're willing to put on your door. But again, for race car spec, it is fine. We are waiting for plexiglass windows to put in this. Front window is going to be glass. The rear will be plexi as well. So we do have our roof scoop on. We ran into an issue when we went to put our roof flap in. And you can see there our cage is now interfering with the bolt positions for the roof flap bracket. This was something I could have dealt with by chopping up the bracket and sliding it in above the roll cage there. But for the time being, rather than chop up an irreplaceable bracket, we're gonna see if we can just do something else to fit it, which I'm sure is possible because for the most part, the flap already will bolt to the roof, that's fine. It's just the latch in the front that we needed to deal with. So as you can see, it wasn't horrible putting on the kit. I wouldn't say it was frustrating or anything like that. It was almost as I expected when you're assembling like, you know, a kit car on another body. Up to this stage, it really varies with respect to time spent to do this, because you may not necessarily be gutting your whole entire car and a roll cage and painting it and your trunk and your engine bay, etc. So I'd say a ballpark range to get something like this done, I'd say like 200 hours is easily expectable. We spent quite a bit more time than that because we did a lot more stuff. Like we ended up starting with a bare shell to begin with. So there was the disassembly there and putting it back together as well, along with the engine bay prep. We did all the bushings on all the suspension components and stuff like that. But overall, what do I think of this kit and the fit and the overall results? I am happy with it. It is a nice kit. It looks really cool. It's decent enough quality where I wouldn't say like, you know, you're doomed trying to install it or expect it to turn out good. Because with respect to the fiberglass itself, we did almost no modifications or body work on it. Everything was just drilled. We put our hardware in, we bonded on the rear quarter panels there, and it did all work out quite well. So I figure hopefully this video was useful for anyone considering doing this to their own car, maybe other body shops considering doing it for a client. Just know what you're getting into. It is, you know, a lengthy job, a little bit tedious, but for the most part, the results were as expected. It does look good. This won't be the last video on this car. It's gonna come back again for some more final touches, and we'll kind of be buttoning it up, and we will eventually get a final results. We're gonna take it as far as you know, following this car to the track when it gets out there so you guys can see it in action, which that I am most looking forward to kind of see this thing roaring around a track or hitting some jumps would be super cool. Alright guys, well I'm gonna end the video here. Hopefully that was somewhat helpful to you guys, and until the next one.